Good morning, Wellness Way Culture. I'm Dr. Jeremy,
And Dr. James.
and this is
J Squared Live.
So we are glad to be with you this morning on this glorious snowy morning here in mid-Missouri. We braved the nasty roads early this morning, so I always say, if we can make it, you can make it. So, not always the case. I get it in mid-Missouri. People are a little more chicken to get out on the roads compared to those who live up in Appleton, Wisconsin, right, Annie?
You betcha.
So, Miss Annie Vissers from the Appleton / Green Bay, Wisconsin Wellness Way office there. So, she's down visiting, and Dr. James and helping us in the office a little bit, just kind of getting an outside perspective and getting some training done for ourselves and trying to always improve what we're doing in here for you guys. But as Dr. James and I have kind of been on the topic of the endocrine system, hormones, the last couple of Mondays, it was pretty fitting that you came along, and we're going to get to hear her story in that regard. So my goal, and Doc and I's, our goal is that somehow, anytime we bring somebody on that shares a story, that it makes a connection for them. Somebody may hear Annie and go, hey, that's just like me. That sounds familiar, and now hopefully you'll have a very strong idea of what to do and what your next steps will be, and that'll be call the Wellness Way Columbia and get tested, get yourself figured out. I didn't even think about it. You got a little emoji you wanted to put in today?
Let's see. Heidi, you pick an emoji and comment it, and so people can.
Yeah, that'll work.
Yeah.
I like that.
Those of you that are first timers, go ahead and comment where you're from.
The other thing I want to put out there too is I want you guys to feel comfortable in messaging Facebook.
Oh, the door's
some
gonna open.
questions.
We're getting a package.
It's Christmas time.
Yay!
Package.
Presents!
So, so feel free to send us some private messages on our Facebook page, because if you guys have questions, particularly after today, or anything regarding, just about the Wellness Way and moving forward, I want to encourage you guys to do that. We will definitely not answer all of your questions on a private message, but there are some great ways we can get connected and get started with you in that regard. So without further ado,
Yes.
Miss Annie Vissers, so if you don't mind, maybe tell us a little bit of your hormonal story.
Oh, we're going back a long ways then, I think.
And will you go back as far as you think pertinent to our audience
Just
as
say,
they're
it
trying
was
to
a glorious
learn.
September day. So I'm Annie. I am from the Appleton Green Bay offices. My Wellness Way journey started a couple years ago, but I've had hormonal things going on for quite some time. I had family members on both sides, mom and dad's side, that had hormonal stuff going on, so I knew come puberty and further on that I was going to have a lot of problems.
Because it's all genetic.
It's
right?
all genetic.
Yeah.
It's what gene switches on, and all of a sudden, yeah. And when I've had messed up cycles since the beginning, and so when you're 13 years old and your hormones are going crazy and your parents can't handle you, they take you into the doctor and they say, well, what's the first thing? Birth control.
Birth control.
That will balance your hormones and get everything straight and narrow. So I went through many birth control pills, patches, shots until something actually worked. And I was on some form of birth control until I was about 23. So 13 years of birth control can really mess with hormone systems.
So let me ask you this, because
Yes.
this question just came. So you said you tried a bunch of different things until something worked.
Yes.
What does that mean? Like, what worked by whose definition?
It worked by my definition. I would take a lot of the pills and I would still get breakthrough bleeding. I would still have the PMS, PMDD symptoms. I would still have the 3-day migraines and all of the fun, nasty things that would happen because my hormones just couldn't balance enough. And I went into the doctor and I said, I feel broken. I'm still broken. You need to give me something else to make it go away.
Mm-hmm.
And eventually we landed on the Depo-Provera shot. And I was even keel. My mindset was great. I wasn't having the fluctuations, which I hated at the time. So I know people say, I don't want to go on birth control. It's like, well, for me, I actually loved being on it because my mind was seemingly sound. I wasn't the crazy person that I was being cyclic. So yeah, 6 years of Depo-Provera. I
Wow.
had maybe 1 or 2 actual days of bleeding, but other than that, I was good to go. And I was happy every 3 months on the dot, new shot, and I was good to go. Seemingly.
But then,
But
and
then-
you did that for how many years?
6 years.
6 years.
6 years of poison, yes.
Then, so were there signs prior to, obviously in over 6 years, were you starting to notice that the goodness of what
Yes.
you were experiencing was no longer good?
Well,
Or what were some clues
So-
to you that something was starting to get off again?
I think I wasn't getting too many symptoms. I knew that the side effects, of course, there's a laundry list of them in the Depo shots, but my weight gain was a consistent uphill climb every single year. I would gain at least 10 pounds. And that, of course, being a woman, you pack on any weight and it's just the end of the world. And
Right.
I need to get this off, and I will do anything, do any diet, any pills, anything to get it down. I knew that I wanted to have a family one day. And so I went into my primary and I said, okay, I eventually want to get off of this. I want to take the steps forward because I'm not dating anybody now, and I would rather, knowing that there's a process of going off of birth control to reset the hormones to where they were and how to fix them, I knew that was going to be a problem. So I wanted to do that singly versus bringing it into a relationship.
Right.
So I wanted to do that, and I asked them if they could test my hormones to see where they were at, and he looked at me and he said, we wouldn't know what to do with that information even if we had it.
Oh my gosh.
I said, okay, thank
Wow.
you for being honest, and
Yeah.
I walked right out. Yeah.
Just so you guys know, the Wellness Way doctors across the United States know how to test your hormones. It is possible.
Yes.
And
More
can
than the
be-
2 markers that most
Yes.
MDs
Yes.
will do.
Can be done very well and complete.
Yes. So, a couple of years ago, I was working for a local grocery store chain called Festival Foods. There was a lady in the HR department who was a patient of Dr. Zach's in Appleton, and she said, I don't have the hormone issues that you do, but you should come to this inflammation talk, this hormone connection talk, and see what you think. So of course I'd tried everything, so I'm like, all right, let's do this, see what he has to say, what natural medicine this guy's got. And within the first 5-10 minutes, I was hooked. It was so different and revolutionary. He understood I was not crazy for going up and down in the cycles. He knew that I actually had something to say. And in the time period when I had all the hormone issues going on, they said, it's all in your head. And that was the most frustrating words you could ever tell me. It's all in your head. You're making it up. Let's just give you this medication and it'll all just magically go away.
Yeah.
So to hear Dr. Patrick say, no, that's normal, it's okay, that was revolutionary
Yeah.
for me.
Any of you guys ever heard that? If so, give us the thumbs down, because it's not a good thing.
Mm-mm.
But I would bet that many of you guys who are on here today, or you know somebody
Oh, yeah.
who has been told that before, and we want you to know that that's not normal.
It's extremely common, but it's definitely
very
not
common,
normal.
but not normal, and that's why we share these stories. So here you are, you've walked out of the office. You're
Yep,
like,
23
okay, this
years
guy
old.
can't test hormones. Somebody shares the story, which
Yes.
I want to give kudos to many of our followers here, because you guys tell the story. Like, we rely on you to refer others in and to let them know how your life was changed because of this information.
Absolutely.
So this lady stepped out and said, I think this can help you
I disagree.
going forward. Yeah. And so here you found yourself at the Hormone Connection Seminar,
Yes.
which we've done twice down here.
Yes.
So Columbia, Missouri's very familiar with Dr. Patrick Flynn. So then what?
So then my entire life changed, and then I became a good kind of stalker where I went on every live, every post, anything that the Wellness Way was posting or putting out in content, I absorbed right away. I am a learner. I want to be taught how to think, not what to think. So I gathered up all this information, and then I went to Dr. Zach's inflammation talk, and I was probably there 7-8 times before I actually came
Wow.
on board.
Wow.
That's
Like
awesome.
I was bringing people in, I wanted to hear more of the information, I wanted it.
Did you guys hear that? You know who I thought of when you said you were the good stalker? Tanya Robertson.
We love that Tanya's
I
on
know.
everything because
Yep,
she
she's
wants
on
to know,
everything.
she wants to learn.
And she's crushing it, doing really good.
Absolutely. Yeah, I love the post that she does in Wellness Way Women's, where she's just updating us constantly on
All right,
the
cool.
positive things.
Very
So
good.
good job, Tanya. So from then, I knew that I wanted to be part of Wellness Way culture, and so there was one day I was looking down at my phone and I'm texting Dr. Zach and said, I will do anything. I will clean your floors. I will scrub your toilets. I will do anything. Please let me into the wolf pack. Please let me
Nice.
do anything for you. And thankfully he said, our toilets are clean enough, but I have something else for you to do. And he's had me start making phone calls to different businesses 5 hours a week. And that's how I started.
Very cool.
Slowly worked my way in. And then all of a sudden, after 5 minutes or 5 hours a week, I was promoted up and up and up, and now I am the director of our entire outreach program, which trains all the doctors and staff how to go in different businesses and teach other businesses in a 10-minute talk how to think differently about the medical system that's out there.
Love it. You guys have probably heard some of that.
Yep, and
Yeah.
so speaking on that, it's like that's something that we offer with our office here. So if that's something that would be beneficial for you in your office, go ahead and give us a comment or reach out to the office and we'll get something set up.
You bet.
Yeah, we'll bring you some free food too. Maybe.
Yeah, that's true. Generally, we bring some good food from the Columbia stores around here, Nourish, Range Free.
Range-free.
Mhm.
Yeah, there's some great places that offer some nice tasty treats. Which I did participate in some Range Free on Friday,
Yes,
so.
I would love to go back.
Did you get to
Yeah,
visit while you were
We
there?
did.
We went for breakfast on Saturday.
There you go. They make
Good
the best
waffles.
waffles. Oh my
Yes.
gosh, they are
Yes.
the best waffles. If you guys have never had a Range-free waffle, you haven't lived yet. If you haven't had a Range-free waffle, they're very delicious. So go over and
Very
say hi
allergy friendly.
to another Annie.
Yes.
She's the owner over there. So, so now you're high up in the Wellness Way
Yes.
culture.
Yes.
Outreach, how did you put it? You're the Wellness Way
Wait,
director.
Yep, the director of the outreach program.
Director of Outreach Program. So, you know, you don't have to go into a lot of detail, but
Yes.
now that you've been tested,
Mhm.
you know, figured out some triggers, you know, so
Oh, I had so
how many years would you say you've kind of been working on getting back on track? Or maybe it's not been years yet.
Prior to me jumping on board with Wellness Way things, I was trying to lose a lot of weight, and so I've been the paleo, caveman type lifestyle of eating. So
Mhm.
a lot of veggies, fruits, meats, nuts, trying to cut out all the processed stuff, all of the white flour, white sugar junk that's just out there.
Oh, it's everywhere.
Yes. Which is a good start, but then I got my food allergies back and had about 30 of the things I was already eating on paleo now giving me inflammation. So I thought I was doing a great thing by eating green beans and pineapple and chocolate, and that was actually hurting me.
Well, I thought green beans were healthy for you. I mean,
Not
you're eating
me.
organic green beans, they should
Not
be
me.
healthy for you, right?
I mean, chocolate is good for everybody,
And paleo,
And
I mean,
paleo,
paleo is
yes.
supposed to be really good for you.
or keto even.
So, yeah, the guys didn't pick up on the sarcasm there. We laid it on pretty thick. So what's more important than the latest fad diet is knowing what foods are functionally good for you. I like to use that word because I think health is misused. I mean,
Yes.
we're not really looking to eat healthy foods. We want to know what makes our body function at its best. And even still, you can be eating foods you're not allergic to, and then the whole proper digestive system can be out of sync, and now you're not breaking things down, you're not absorbing nutrients like you should. So, we see that a lot.
I was gonna say, the funny thing is, well, it's not really that funny. I had a parasite infection for 2.5 years prior to that. So my gut was extremely messed up. I couldn't process proteins. I couldn't process a lot of the things. So when I thought I was being healthy, my body just said, I don't know what to do with this. This is foreign, and goes and attacks.
Right.
So you might have the same thing where you've got some gut things going on and you don't know it. So I would definitely recommend getting tested.
For sure. That definitely takes a lot of the guessing out.
Yes.
Which is why
Yes.
Wellness Way motto is, we don't guess, we
test.
test. And it does give us a lot of helpful information. Well, I'm super excited to have you down here visiting with us, and
Me too.
great to hear just, your story, your journey, and just how, a lovely young lady trying to just find, the best for herself.
Yes.
What I really appreciate is at 23, you were like, okay, I know I want to have a family.
Yep.
And you knew that it was important that now, before anything else was involved, you knew it was more important to get your environment right.
Absolutely.
And unfortunately, this day and age, we come to find, women will come in, they find out that they're pregnant, and then all of a sudden they're like, crap, I got to get my stuff together.
Yeah.
I got to start really getting healthy. And it's like,
Take all the prenatal vitamins.
all of that should have been done ahead of
Well
time.
prior
Well
to
prior, so.
conception.
So anyways, we could definitely hit that up on a whole nother topic, Doc and I on a Monday, what you should be doing before even thinking about making babies. On both sides,
On both
honestly.
sides, absolutely.
It's not just, the woman. There's two sets of genetic prints coming together, and if they're both unhealthy in the regard to not caring what they eat, they haven't been tested, it's no wonder that infertility is where it's at. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, you had a couple of people hopping on here. I see Ross is on from Green Bay. Dr. Stacy's been on from Davenport. So again, if you guys have any questions, please reach out to us on our Facebook page. You can, what do they call it? Private message, direct message, DM,
Yep.
I don't, so
PM,
many.
private message.
PM?
PM.
What's
PM or
Instagram? DM? I
The face chats, I
Or
don't
maybe-
use
maybe there's
Instagram.
IM, instant
Figure out
message. Who knows? All these social media lingo, I don't get it.
We're too old
So,
for that.
Yes, we were too old.
You're not. We are. Yes, just
Anything-
know that you're not alone.
Mhm.
You're not crazy. It's not all in your head. There is something going on. You know your body well enough to know and flag if something is going on. So please reach out to us, private message us, and we can definitely get you going.
Absolutely. And again, that last portion of her story there, when she was said there was the parasite, we've already been dealing with hormones.
Yep.
That goes back to our Swiss watch principle, and that it's all connected, and
Yep.
it's all going to cascade around. So your hormones are definitely tied to what's going on in your gut.
Oh, I do want to add one thing to the story. So, because I've cleaned up my gut and because we've done a lot of the healthy rebuilding, all of the Swiss watch, all of the gears getting back together, I have now been able to cut my antidepressants in half, and I'm working with my doctor to go off of them completely. Something I
Nice.
never ever thought that was possible. I thought for sure both sides, another genetic thing, that I was going to have it for the rest of my life. And there's nothing wrong with taking antidepressants if you need it. If you absolutely have to have it, then do it. Say that sometimes it's a fire in the house.
Yeah.
So do it.
The whole
But-
analogy of the fireman and carpenter.
Yes. So if you need it, you need it. But now I'm working with carpenters to get it going. And I am so proud. I am
Thank
so excited to get off.
Man, that could really catapult you to a whole nother level, because when
Absolutely.
you know, are in the culture like you are, you begin to hear a lot of the stuff that we study and train on, and so now it's like pathways.
Absolutely.
And if you can get rid of a drug that's interrupting a pathway that is trying to help, but now we remove that, man, the unlimited ability that the body has that we talk about all the time in here, that innate wisdom is going to be completely uninhibited here.
Yes.
So the best is yet to come. And again, I think what many of you guys can really relate to when it comes to Annie is she just started. She just started somewhere, did something to get the ball rolling,
Yep.
knowing that like you disagreed with the direction you were going.
Yes,
And knew
absolutely.
that continuing to go that way was not going to produce a body that was a good environment for making a baby. So whether it's just getting foods done, starting with hormones, you know, honestly, you guys, we don't really care. We just want you to get started.
There's no shame in starting just somewhere. A little step is still a step in the
Right.
right direction.
I mean, we've got individuals that, you know, they just know they're not a place financially they can't start
Yep.
with the detailed testing. So
Absolutely.
it's like, there's a lot of things that if you just engage on our Facebook page and look at our videos, we talk a lot about digestion, the importance of stomach function. I mean, there's so many foods you can begin to avoid and eliminate without even getting tested. I mean, we kind of talk
We've got
about,
a lot of free tips.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I mean, there's, you know, get off the wheat, get off the dairy,
Soy.
get off the sugar, soy. I mean,
Yeah.
there's so many things that when you really begin to watch your labels and see what's in this stuff, I mean, yeah, it's going to take some effort to get away from that because it's what you're so used to. But I mean, we've had
Oh.
patients that see huge change in just eliminating those things.
Yeah, we can't go back. Once you can't unlearn what you've learned for our mindset.
So anyways, yeah, there's great amount of information for you guys at your fingertips on our Facebook page, on Instagram,
On YouTube.
YouTube, yeah, Wellness Way. I mean, whether it's our personal page or Wellness Way, Dr. Patrick Flynn, no excuses. The information is there, and we are helping guide you and hopefully leading you in a better direction. I know that we're leading you in a better direction, but we want to make it feel as though you don't have to take a leap off the 50-foot high
Yes.
dive
You don't have to do
into
it
a
all at
pinhole,
once.
you know? We want to make it to where sometimes you just kind of stand over the edge and stick your toes in and see what the water feels like.
And then we'll shove you in. No, I'm just kidding.
There are some that are like that. We had a
Some
couple in
need it.
today
Yeah.
that, I mean, she got on her foods, avoided them in a month. She's like, let's go. I'm ready to hit detox.
Mhm.
I don't care if Christmas is coming.
That's a
I'm
good
just,
accountability factor, though.
She was
Do
just
detox.
ready to go, but her mind was right, you know, so not everybody's at that point. But I did find out from her that, you know, I listened to what you guys had to say. It made sense. She's had some very close relations with a place called Brain Body Balance here in town, so she understood the model of that whole brain body connection, the gut brain connection, and so then to just hear our story and then connect the dots, how the Swiss watch principle, everything's connected. She was like, you know what? The Lord gave me one body and I got one chance at making this thing work right. And she's like, let's go. You guys lead the way and I'm in.
That's the thing. We
So-
will teach you what's going on.
Yeah. Yeah, we don't just give it to you and go, there you go.
The authority. I'm the authority. I'm the expert.
Yeah, we want them to learn it so that it becomes a lifestyle.
And it makes sense.
Yeah.
We can follow gradually, step by step, show you how we think. So it's not just some concept in the air. We're not practicing medicine. We're actually doing health.
Doing that. So,
Yes.
all right. Hey, Shelby is watching probably from the Dallas
Dallas
airport. So, hopefully make it back safe and sound. Well, that's all I've got. You got anything else you want to add?
See, for those of you that are interested in learning more, you have a webinar tomorrow.
That's right.
Is that at
Webinar at
12:30?
12:30.
Yeah.
You can still get on our Facebook page and sign up through the
Eventbrite link.
Eventbrite link. So love to have you guys on, and if
Don't miss
you're
it.
sitting and watching from your own break room at your office, pull it up on the phone, pull it up on a big monitor there in the conference room and bring your coworkers in and hear the message of the Wellness Way approach to inflammation.
Yeah, we already have several patients that have already said that that's their team meeting tomorrow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a great idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm super excited about that. So yeah, get on. We've got more scheduled. Do we have anything scheduled for the? I think this is.
I think that's the last one of the year.
So this is the last one of the year. So you'll definitely want to get on, take advantage of some opportunities that we provide at the end. But we definitely
all
have
the
some.
talks for January are already scheduled, though.
Yeah, cool. So get on. You can see how to start off the new year, 2020, new decade. You guys make it a good one. A lot can change in 10 years, good or bad.
Yep.
So, well, I appreciate you guys getting on. Always enjoy the interaction. Again, if you have questions, you can private message us, and we would be happy to get back to you and get you started. And Annie, thank you so much for sharing your
Well,
story.
thanks for having me
Thank
on,
you.
guys.
I know that it will have a huge impact for our listeners and anyone they share it with. So you guys be safe out there. If you did need to reschedule, make sure you get a hold of Amy and we'll get you in the books because Doc will be here till Friday.
Yeah.
Tomorrow will be my last day until we'll be back on the 30th,
30th.
31st. So make it a great Monday.
Bye.